Happy Hump Day. We are coming off another winning day, and we have a full 15 game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. Happy Hump Day to everyone. We are in the middle of the week, and we had a 2-1 day yesterday, so close to that 3-0 sweep. But we'll go over the bets recap in just a little bit. Today is also the first day me and my wife are dropping off our daughter for her first day of preschool. So there's probably going to be some tears. I'm not sure what my wife's going to do, but there'll be some tears. We do have a Dinger Tuesday winner, though. Let's get into the baseball talk. Let's bring it up. Congrats to @Jive Bark for winning the Dinger Tuesday contest with Tommy Pham at plus 850. We almost had like a three-way tie for Kyle Schwarber, but Tommy Pham gets the job done. And he is also a Jabo MVP and has been for quite a while, so we appreciate the support. Reach out to us to accept that $20 winning prize. And speaking of Jabo MVPs, we also have a new one, so let's pull that one up. And there he is at Bob Blaznick 8676. Thank you so much for becoming a Jabo MVP and supporting this channel. It means a lot to us. We appreciate it. And if you want to be a part of this channel, be a Jabo MVP, just click that join button below the video. $2.99 a month. You get some perks, but most of all, it helps support us. If we give you any entertainment or help with your bets or anything like that, we'd appreciate it. Obviously, never required, though. So now, quick reminder, if you see any graphics in this video, it will be from an app called OUTLIER. They are our partners. And if you're looking to be a long-time bettor and you need a tool to help you, this is the one. I've told everyone millions of times, but if I wasn't a partner, I would still be using this. So it has nothing to do with that. It's a great one-stop shop. If you're someone who's looking at 15 different websites just to find info for a bet, then OUTLIER is the app for you. So go check it out. It's got NFL, MLB, NBA, and WNBA. If you click the link below in the description, you get a free trial. All right, enough of that stuff. We got a full 15-game slate if I can talk. Let's get into it. And it starts with a baseball fun fact. So here we go. There are 8 MLB players that are members of the 300 home run, 300 stolen base club. Only one player is a member of the 400 club. His name is Barry Bonds, but that's not it. There's also only one member of the 500 club, Mr. Barry Bonds. Absolutely insane that nobody is even in the 400, but he's in the 500. Roids or not, whatever, one of the greatest hitters of all time. There's some crazy stats on him, that's for sure. But in this video, we're going to recap yesterday's 2-1 day as we are now 23-12 in the last 35 bets. Then we'll go over the good and bad hitter matchups. And because it's Wednesday, we're going to talk who's on fire, hitters on fire in the last 7 days, and then talk some arms with the good pitcher strikeout matchup, the full pitcher report for the 15 game slate, and then we'll finish it up with the best bets and the hitter parlay ideas while showing you the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below just to help the algorithm. If you just want to say hi, that's fine. What you're doing today, your favorite bet, whatever it is, every single comment you guys make has really helped this channel grow. And that's why we are extremely close to 28,000 subscribers. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We have a ton of fun talking bets, talking sports, MLB, NBA, and NFL. All right, enough of the intro, guys. It's time to get into it, and it starts with the recap. There it is, the 2-1 day, and we start out with Taj Mahal. Over 2.5 earned runs allowed. If you listened to me yesterday, I did talk about how he gives up bombs, and I think the Phillies could hit a couple. Well, that's what got it done. Kyle Schwarber started the game off with a home run. Trey Turner with a 2-run bomb. They got 4 runs at least off him. I stopped paying attention after that. That was an easy winner. And then Jonathan Cannon. Oh, poor Cannon. Over 16.5 outs. He got 16 outs, guys, and then he faced 2 more hitters. He gave up a single and a walk, and he did not get the job done with 1 out to go for a 3-0 sweep. But that's baseball. It happens. And then Marcell Ozuna and Luis Arias, 1+ hit each. They both get the job done. Ozuna walked and also got on a catcher's interference. He tried to screw it up, but then he comes up clutch in like the 6th inning with a single. So we'll take the 2-1 winning day every single time. There's the overall record and all the breakdown. So let's keep this hot streak rolling. And it starts with the good and bad hitter matchups. We got 11 of these for you today, and it starts out with George Springer, 12 for 37 versus Sean Manaea. And then we got a Baltimore Oriole, a couple of them. Cedric Mullins, 10 for 28 with 2 bombs versus Pivetta, hitting the ball really well. His teammate, Tony Santander. That's right, 4 for 13 with an extra base hit off of Pivetta. And then Rafael Devers, 2 bombs off of Dean Kramer. And then Brent Rooker, who's, by the way, having one heck of a season that not a lot of people are talking about, but 4 for 11 off of Zach Wheeler. And there's everybody else on the right side, 6 to 8 at bats. So hopefully this can help you go get some winners. Take a screenshot. And now let's take a look at all the bad hitter matchups, and there they are. Kyber Ruiz. I don't know why I said that wrong. 1 for 11, 2 Ks versus Max Fried. So that's all we got for the bad hitter matchups, but we're not done with the bats. Let's talk who's on fire. All right, if you're new to the channel, every single Wednesday we give you who's on fire, hitters on fire last 7 days, minimum 20 at bats, and you have to be hitting 340 or higher just to kind of let you know who is just swinging that hot bat. I'm not going to go through every one. Otto Lopez, 379, obviously a newer one on here. But we got some guys hitting over 400. Luis Arias, Ty France, because he's not a Mariner anymore. And then Bryce Harper, also 458. Some of these numbers might be right before they played on Tuesday, just a heads up. But then Salvi Perez, 364, broken out of his slump. And then Taylor Ward of the Angels hitting 409 with a couple bombs, something that probably not most people know, that's for sure. But take a screenshot. That is page 1. And now let's check out page 2. And there we go. Jose Altuve with the highest average, hitting 500 with 3 ribbies. That's right. That guy just figures out a way to hit every single year of his career. Lawrence Butler, 350, so on and so on. There's Brent Rooker, like we've talked about. Oakland A's, they got some pieces this year. Some more pieces that we thought, younger players as well. But Andrew Vaughn, the guy that all White Sox fans have been waiting for to actually come through. He's been doing off better this year. I'll just say that. 450, though, lately. He's really been swinging the bat well. And Cedric Mullins, who we showed earlier, is hitting 438 with 3 home runs, including 2 yesterday. So he has been on a roll. But that's all the hitters on fire in the last 7 days. And now let's talk some arms. All right, we got 4 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you. That's right, 4 of them. So let's get into it. Zach Wheeler versus the Rays. Rays 4th highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks. We know they're a strikeout team, especially after the trade deadline. Zach Wheeler, just a stud. 190 Ks and 173.2 innings. K rate at home also is higher, where he is 28.4 compared to 26.8 on the road. Not a huge difference, but Wheeler 6+ Ks in 11 straight starts. He is Mr. Consistent, and he has between 6 and 8 strikeouts in 10 of his last 11 starts. Nick Pivetta versus the Orioles. Orioles 10th highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, over 24%. Pivetta, there are his numbers: 147 Ks and 123.1 innings. He only faced Baltimore earlier this year one time, and he had 6 Ks in that game. He does have a higher strikeout rate at home, though, and it's quite a bit, 31.7% compared to 26.8 on the road. And he now has 6+ Ks in 9 of his last 11 starts. So those are the first 2. Take a screenshot. Let's check out the final 2. And we got Bowden Francis, of the Blue Jays versus the Mets. Mets 3rd highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks. Kind of surprising, but they have been striking out an absolute crap ton. And then Francis, 81 Ks and 84.2 innings. In August, 33.1% K rate, 25% so far in September. So those early season numbers really mean nothing. This guy is pitching much differently. He does have similar home road K splits, and he now has 6 or more Ks in 5 of his last 6 starts. The final one, Michael King against my Seattle Mariners. Mariners, listen, it's only 15th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks. I had to double and triple check that because that didn't seem right. But it really is 22.9%. I'm still not buying it, and that's why they're on here as a good pitcher strikeout matchup. King, 185 Ks and 156.2 innings. Mariners do have a higher strikeout rate at home, though, as well, because apparently it's really hard to hit at T-Mobile Park. And they do have the highest lately at 28.9%. King, a higher K rate at home at 33.1% compared to on the road, though, 23.8%. So obviously he is going to be on the road here. But those are the 4 best pitcher strikeout matchups of the day. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 8 matchups. If you're new to the channel, all the averages are on the bottom to help you out. And then we start out with a guy on the top, Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Honestly, that's all I know about him. I know nothing about him except for that he's a lefty. He's pitched 4.2 innings. So he's going up against Bailey Falter. Other than that, we got some bad pitcher matchups. The one in Toronto is a good pitching matchup, and we're going to talk about that game later. Merrill Kelly going up against Cody Bradford. Bradford has pitched pretty well this season, but he's faced some pretty weak competition lately as well. Zach Wheeler, we all know what he's about. Shane Baz, the youngster, been decent in only 55 innings this year. And then Max Fried, obviously doing Max Fried things. Jake Urban, who had a great start to the season, has just been kind of okay in the second half of the season. and then so on and so on. We got two guys who can really miss some bats in New York with Cole Reagans versus Luis Heel. That should be a good matchup, followed by a terrible matchup in Tanner Gordon versus Casey Mize. So that's the first 8 matchups. Let's take a look now at page 2. All right, we don't have a ton of great matchups here on this page as well. As you can see, Kramer versus Pivetta just kind of, okay. Obviously, Pivetta can miss some bats at 29.1% K rate. But two guys that give up a lot of hits so far, but limited limited innings is Cocaine for the Angels versus Matthews of the Twins. 10.9 hits and 13.1 hits per 9 innings. But again, just two youngsters that have not pitched a lot yet. And then Brandon Williamson, making his return, only 8 innings pitched so far this year, going up against Lance Lynn, who is also making his return. He is like 52 years old, and he is coming off a rehab start where he really struggled. Other than that, Hunter Brown, we know, has been really solid after a bad first month of the season. Joey Estes, much better much better pitcher when he's at home as opposed to on the road. The best pitching matchup maybe of the day right here, Michael King versus Brian Wu. We've all seen Brian Wu and backed him and all this. He's unbelievable. Only giving up 6 hits per 9 innings, walk percentage of 2.4, better than George Kirby even. 2.36 ERA, just a guy that nobody's talking about, but he's been unbelievable. And then King obviously has been solid this year. He misses a lot more bats, 28.2% K rate. And then Blake Snell, a guy who can, the wheels can fall off. He could walk 6 guys, or he could just absolutely dominate and throw another no-hitter. He's that good. Going up against Colin Ray, who's been one of the luckiest pitchers, as you can see, by his 5.11 expected ERA. And then down there on the bottom, I'm not going to say too much because we're going to talk about this game later, but it's Bobby Miller, Jordan Wicks. That's all I'm going to say. So that is all 15 matchups for the pitcher report. And now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Toronto, Canada, where the Blue Jays host the New York Mets. Mets on the money line -122, Jays on the money line +102, with a total of 8 runs in this one. I don't have a player prop. I actually have a total. Give me the under 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings at -120 on DraftKings for 1 unit. Haven't done a lot of these this year, but I really like it. So let's talk about it. We got the lefty Sean Manaea versus Bowden Francis in this one. Let's talk about Manaea. Anyways, he's been solid lately, especially early in games, but we'll talk about that in a second. Overall, he's now given up 3 or less runs in 9 straight starts, 2 or less runs in 7 of the last 9. He's done an incredible job at limiting hits. How about 4 hits or less in 5 of his last 6 starts? But one of the reasons I like this first 5 innings instead of the total is because of how good Sean Manaea has been. First time through the order, 2.25 ERA. Second time through the order, 3.43 ERA. A third time, which we're trying to avoid, 5.91 ERA. That's where he kind of loses it. And so he goes deep into games, 6, 7 innings. And if he gives up some runs, sometimes it's right there in that 6th inning at the end of his start, because obviously it's tough to face hitters for a third time. And in his last 4 starts, actually, he has only allowed a total of 2 runs in the first 5 innings. That's right. So last 4 starts, 5 innings each start. That's 20 innings. Yep, hash brown math, including shutting out the Diamondbacks and the Orioles in the first 5 innings. And some more first 5 innings numbers for Sean Manaea. He's allowed 3 runs or less now in 9 straight starts in the first 5 innings. And he's allowed 2 runs or less in 7 of the last 9 starts in the first 5 innings. I'm pretty sure I've now called him Manaea and Manaea all different times every time I say his name. But anyways, he's facing a Jays offense, 21st in WRC+, 17th in walk rate, 21st in slugging versus lefties since August 1st. Nothing special versus lefties. They've been better versus righties, so I like the matchup here. I think he's going to hold down the fort. Now, Bowden Francis, he's a youngster who's been absolutely awesome lately. Most of you guys already know that, but he has given up 3 earned runs. He gave up 3 earned runs in his last start against the Philadelphia Phillies in 6 innings. Still a solid start, but before that, he gave up 2 earned runs, actually just 2 runs in general or less in 6 straight starts. He's done an unbelievable job at limiting hits, just like Sean, Mr. Manaea. And Francis given up 3 or less hits in 6 of his last 7 starts. That is absolutely unreal, to give up 3 hits or less in 6 of your last 7 starts. And he's been complete different pitcher since the start of August. Ridiculous. 1.05 ERA in August with a .089 average against. This guy has just been absolutely unhittable, and he's now facing a Mets offense, 20th best WRC plus last 3 weeks versus righties, 3rd highest K rate, as we already talked about earlier in the K matchups, and the 7th lowest walk rate. So, I mean, they're both facing below average offenses, and we got 2 starting pitchers in very good form. I do not want to mess with the bullpens. I don't want to even deal with it, especially the Jays and Mets. So I'm just going to take the first 5 under 4.5 runs as my first best bet. All right, before we get to that second best bet, we got to tell you about this promotion with Bet365 because it is not going to last long. Here it is. This is the main one they have. This is the one most people will use. Bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. It doesn't matter what you do with that $5. If you win or lose the bet, you are still going to get $200 in bonus bets. And how do you get it? You click the link below for Bet365, and it takes you right to the sign up and the promotion. It is a great deal to start, especially with the NFL season here, NBA around the corner, and MLB playoffs coming up quickly as well. And I always recommend to get as many sports books as you can to shop all the odds and get the best value as you go. So that is the promotion with Bet365. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this second one takes us out to LA where the Dodgers host the Chicago Cubbies. Dodgers on the money line, minus 165. Cubs on the money line, plus 140 with a total of 9.5 runs. I don't understand this line, and maybe it moves a ton by the time you guys see it, but this is what I saw right before recording. Give me the Cubs team total over 3.5 runs at minus 135 on ESPN bet for 1 unit. This line seems like a mistake. I dropped it on Discord immediately on ESPN bet. Other books didn't have this line out yet. If it's at 4.5, guess what? I still like it because the Cubs are facing the horrendous Bobby Miller. He has been so bad this year. He's second in line to be the leader of the Christmas tree crew. 7.79 ERA through 11 starts. That's right, almost an 8 ERA through 11 starts. He belongs in the minor leagues. He just flat out does right now. 25 walks in 49.2 innings. I don't know if you guys know, that's not good at all. He has given up 3 or more earned runs himself in 9 of his last 11. So 9 of his last 11 opponents have already gotten 3 runs in just off of him. We're not even talking the bullpen. Bullpen hasn't even come out at this point. The only way this line is if he's facing maybe a terrible offense, but he's not. He's facing the Cubs. Absolutely dominating lately. Last 3 weeks, second best WRC plus, weighted runs created, overall way of telling how your offense scores and creates runs. Third best slugging, fourth best batting average, third highest walk rate. Why is that huge? Well, I just talked about it. Miller walks 1 hitter every 2 innings. And they have scored the second most runs per game in the last 30 days in the entire major leagues at almost 6 runs per game. We have a total of 3.5. Again, I like this at 4.5. I don't understand what a line is doing here at 3.5 versus a minor league pitcher. And if you do get it at 3.5 and it's juiced a little bit higher, you could obviously do some sort of juice reducer. But I think the Cubs could score 5+ runs pretty easy, maybe even 6+ here. Dodgers bullpen is nothing special either, but they have a chance to get these 4 runs off of Bobby Miller himself, as you guys have heard by how terrible he's done. So this is simple. Give me the Cubs team total over 3.5 as my second and final best bet of the video. Any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord, which is free to join. Click that link below. And now let's talk the hitter parlay ideas. All right, we got 4 good hitter parlay ideas for you, and we hit 3 of 4 yesterday. Let's see if we can make it 4 of 4. Again, this is not to parlay altogether. These are just ideas for you to use in your hitter props. So first one, Jose Altuve, we talked about hitting 500 last 7 days, just ridiculous. Hitting 393 in September, facing Joey Estes. He's 1 for 3 off him, nothing big there. Estes is about average in hits per 9 innings. He does not miss a lot of bats, and he gives up a higher batting average to righties at 250 compared to 228. But he mightily struggles on the road. 6.66 ERA on the road and a 286 average against. At home, if he was, which doesn't matter here, he's not. But just to compare, 2.74 ERA at home with a 199 batting average against. It's a great time here to get Altuve with Estes on the road as well. And then Altuve hits really well at home, hitting 310. Second one, Cedric Mullins. You saw it earlier. Hitting 438 last 7 days, really heating up, and he has great history versus Pivetta as well. 10 for 28 off of him, as you saw earlier. He has 1+ hit in 9 of his last 11 games. He's coming off a 2 home run game yesterday. He also has 2+ hits in 4 of his last 8 games. So that's the second one. Third one, Taylor Ward. And again, as you guys can tell, I'm trying not to just name you Bobby Witts and all the main players. These are guys with a little more value. But Taylor Ward of the Angels, if you don't know, now you know. He's hitting the ball well. 1+ hit in 19 of his last 20 games, hitting 400 in the last 7 days. He's facing rookie Zebby Matthews, giving up 32 hits in 22 innings. It has not been pretty. I'm just going to ride the scorching hot bat in this one. And the fourth one, Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers, hitting 348 last 7 days, 2+ hits in 3 of the last 4 games. He is also 8 for his last 13, which is just silly. I mean, that's really silly. He's facing Tanner Flash Gordon, possibly the worst starting pitcher on the slate today. Let's face it. He has given up 43 hits in 31 innings. And then after him is an awful Colorado Rockies bullpen. So I like Riley Green. Those are my 4-hitter parlay ideas, my 2 best bets, and all the research help you need. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. All right, before we wrap it up, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The first 2 bets so far, under 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings in the Mets and Blue Jays game, and then the Cubs team total over 3.5 at -135 on ESPN Bet, the only book that had it as of recording this. So thank you guys again for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, and NFL videos are right around the corner as we are going to drop a video on Wednesday night, for the Thursday night football game, and then we got videos Thursday night and Friday night for week 2. I can't wait. I'm ready for some more football. So thanks again. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.